What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got a video with a bit of a difference for you today, as we are showing off the new PC that we've got and also showing you through our setup. We've not really shown anything on the channel before, so you guys can see how me and Sloth manage the best teams in Europe. But anyway, as we get started, the first thing to say is that I've always done my recordings off a laptop before, so obviously got a built-in webcam into the lid, and I've got an external microphone as well, which I picked up in the Black Friday sales at the end of last year. So now that I've transitioned to a full desktop PC, I don't actually have a webcam. So I've been doing a bit of research on webcams, and a lot of the sort of top streamers use the Logitech C920, which I was just looking to maybe get, but I think you're looking to paying about 90 quid at the minute. Obviously, demand's quite high with everybody in lockdown, lots of people new onto the streaming scene, and obviously all the video calls and etc. I would want that one. I think looking at it, it looked like a pretty good one. I know you can get cheaper ones, but I'm a tech guy and I like to get good tech, if you know what I mean. I don't like to buy inferior products. But yeah, so for sort of 90 quid, I think I saw it on Amazon, I was like, that's a lot of money. Let's see if there's any alternatives. And then it got me thinking, well, my phone's a pretty good phone, and my phone's got obviously a good camera in it. Can I use my phone? So I did a bit of research, and yeah, there are some apps that you can get on your phone, and then corresponding plugins you can download for OBS that mean that you can do that. So I watched a couple of YouTube videos. There was a couple on there that were recommended, like IV Cam, or was it DNI? Might have been another one, but that's been removed from the Play Store now. So I was going to go with IV Cam. I'm going to go through setting up that, and then as I was searching through the Play Store on Android, I found another one called DroidCam OBS, which had decent ratings, looked fairly new actually, which might be why there were no videos on YouTube from anybody showing it. So yeah, downloaded it, had a go, set it up. It was pretty straightforward. It basically, I don't know, I think it works by the data going over your local network. So you put a local IP address into the DroidCam plugin in OBS, and pretty much away you go. You've got the app running on your phone, which you can have the screen on so that you can see what it is before it comes up on your OBS. You can use the front camera, you can use the rear camera. There's a couple of different settings. You can have the flashlight on, etc, etc. But if you wanted to record anything 720p or 1080p, then you have a watermark across it unless you buy the full app. So I thought I'd give it a go, trialed it out, and I was pretty pleased with the result. So I paid the money to get the full blown app, which was only 5 quid, you know, comparing this to buying a 90 quid webcam, obviously. And so this is the first real video I've done recording with it since I've bought the full app. I've got my phone situated. I can't really show you how I've got my phone situated because I'm recording from my phone, so I'm gonna have to pick it up to show you the setup. But essentially, I think I'm gonna buy a phone holder so I can have a dedicated spot for my phone. At the moment, it's just leaning against the monitor and against the foot of the monitor, sort of trapped between the two, which at the moment is giving it a reasonable angle. I'd like it a bit higher. You can't see, where is he? You can't see Sloth so good because it's down low looking up, but Sloth's here still. He loves it. And yeah, it seems to be working pretty well. You can get audio through it as well, but I'm using my microphone that I'll show you in a second. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to pick the phone up now and I'll show you the PC that I've got because it's quite cool. Apologies for the shaky hand cam, but yeah, it's just my mobile phone in my hand, so just turn you round. So yeah, that's where I was leaning the phone, just in there like that, which is quite useful. So yeah, I'll show you guys my setup now, I guess. I've always had this, well, not I've always had it, I've had it for a few years now, this ultra wide 49-inch monitor, which is awesome. I highly recommend it. It's a Samsung. I'll link to it in the video description. But yeah, there's a few Samsung models out there now. I think there was 2 out when I bought this. I bought the one, there was a gaming one and a non-gaming one. I bought the non-gaming one. It was a bit cheaper, but it's still like, was it like 800 quid or whatever it was, so it's a very expensive outlay, but I absolutely love it. The immersion in racing games is fantastic, and the ability just to put Windows wherever I want it. You can also split it. It's got multiple inputs, and you can split it into two inputs. So I can have my Xbox on one side of the screen, and then I can have PC running on the other side of the screen, which is brilliant. You can also adjust that split. It doesn't have to be 50-50. You can have it so that it's like 60-40 or 66-33 or whatever. So I've done that as well with the Xbox, having the Xbox across sort of 2/3. I was playing games like Apex Legends or whatever. That's really good. The only comment I'd say about it is that the controls for everything, there's a little joystick down here, and it's a bit temperamental, and sometimes it'll go on the blink, and it can be difficult to navigate the menus when up is doing down or left is doing right or whatever. But at the moment it's behaving itself. Just try and treat it gently. Before, when I've had my laptop plugged in, I've obviously had my laptop screen as well. So my laptop, which is now there, was sat there in that corner facing us. That's what I've done typically. And there was also another screen. So the good side of that was that I would have OBS running on that screen whilst whatever I was doing over here, Football Manager, was over here. Obviously I can't do that now because I've got the PC, but also it's good because I've freed up this desk space here. Anyway, that's the PC, as you can see, with its lovely RGB. Got it on red profile at the minute, but that can quite easily be changed with the remote control. We could say, oh, I feel like having a blue today, or I feel like having some purple. So that's pretty nifty. There's all those colours there that you can do, which is nice. There's some pre-programmed, programs, I guess, which can make the lights flash and do all sorts. Typically, I think, do I have it on that one? No, I don't have it on that one, but that's quite a cool one. And that's just on. There's others cute too. I won't do all these. That's a different colour. Oh, that's fun. Anyway, stop playing around with those, Chris. Get on with it. So yeah, that's the PC in the corner there now. Ideally, I would have spun it through 90 degrees and put it against this wall here, but the glass case being on that side, if the PC had been built mirrored image opposite hand, I could have done that nicely, and I would have had all the front lights here, which I could have seen, and then all the side lights down the side. That'd have been really good, but because it's built that way round, if I put it up against that wall, it'd be obscuring the side. So I've decided to put it there so I can at least see the front lights from here. I've moved this monitor over slightly. There's still room on the edge of the desk. I am slightly off centre, as you see, the mouse and keyboard are there. I'm slightly off centre, but I'm not too bothered about that. There's just about enough space down the back for air, I think. I think that's okay. I think the thing to note is that there's a hole in the desk, which is where all the cables come up through, so I can't quite move it any further than back than that, because otherwise the cables won't come through. But yeah, that's pretty cool there. Doing well. This is the microphone, as I said. I did have that just like balanced on the top of the laptop. So basically I closed the stand up so that the 3 legs came together, and I just sort of hooked it over the laptop screen, which was okay. But yeah, now that I've got rid of the laptop and I've got the desk space here, that's fine on its own there, stood there, which is good. Nice and easy. So yeah, that's great. I generally go with the red LEDs just because the keyboard is red. I don't think it's not an RGB keyboard, it's just a red keyboard, so it obviously looks a lot better with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I will link you to the stats for the PC so you can see what it is I bought. Pretty good deal actually. It's an Alpha Sync, if you can see. It's an Alpha Sync, so that's eBuyer's gaming PC brand. I paid for it on the Sunday, I think. Ordered it Sunday the 31st, which was a pre-order because they were out of stock, but stock was due in on the Tuesday the 2nd. I eventually got it on the Thursday, the 4th, which wasn't too bad, but the communication could have been slightly better. It was like no communication, no communication, no communication until Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. I got an email to say it's been shipped, dispatched, and then I was handed over to Yodel, and then I was tracking it from Yodel, and it came. Yodel's tracking was fantastic. You could see where the driver was at all times, and you could see how many stops before yours. But yeah, I got it at about 2 o'clock, I think. I was told it would be arriving between 12:30 and 2:30, so I got it at 2 o'clock. So yeah, really pleased with Yodel. The only thing I'd say is eBuyer's communication could have been slightly better. I did send an email asking for an update on the Wednesday, and never got a reply to it. Just got a automated message. What was like concerning me a little bit was the fact that when they'd got the stock in on the Tuesday, it went onto the website saying people could buy it for next day delivery, and then Tuesday night that had gone back to out of stock, but my order hadn't been updated, so that's why I was a bit like, oh, will I have missed out or what? But no, it came, so nothing to complain really. And it's a really, really good spec, and for the price as well. It's got a 3070 graphics card in it, which obviously one of the better graphics cards out at the moment, an MSI one, and that whole PC cost me $1,200, which is pretty damn good. I think the processor could be better. It's a Ryzen 7 2700X, I think. Is it 2700 or 29? I think it might be 2700X. So that processor, whilst it's decent, I think it's a couple of years old. Obviously, the Ryzen 7s are like the 5800Xs now, or even a Ryzen 5 5600X maybe would be better. But I can upgrade that if I want to. They're all compatible with that socket. So, but at the minute I've not had a need to. I did benchmark Horizon Zero Dawn on it, and whilst it was a shed ton better than my laptop, it was still limited by the CPU actually, the frames per second. I think I got 56 frames a second on like full whack detail. So the graphics card was like able to pump out 100 frames a second, but the CPU was limiting it, which was interesting. And there was still a bit of stutter as well. Minimum frame rate dropped down to about 9. But overall, I know that Horizon's a very difficult game for PCs in general, so I'm not too disappointed by that. Did Assetto Corsa as well, Assetto Corsa Competizione, and that ran very smoothly. I was getting about 67 frames a second on ultimate settings with all the cars in and everything, so I was really pleased with that. But yeah, other than that, I guess, yeah, you could spend a bit more money and you could have got a bigger SSD. So it's got a 1TB hard drive and a 500 gig SSD, which has obviously got the operating system on. So there's an avenue for me to upgrade if I wanted to. Could put a bigger SSD in. It's got 16 gig of RAM, which is a single stick. I know a lot of them come with 2 sticks of 8, but there's a single stick of 16 gig RAM in there. There's 4 slots. It doesn't look like you could get to the left-hand slot because the fan is obscuring it. But the 2 slots to the right are there. I think you generally should stagger them. So if I was putting another stick in, I should put it 2 along in the grey. The other grey, there's a 2 grey and a 2 black. So yeah, that's another avenue of upgrade, is another 16 gig stick for 32 gig. But at the moment, I'm not sure what would need 32 gig of RAM. The other thing then is I plug it in. This is actually attached to the monitor, but I do plug it in when I'm recording, which we'll do just to test it doesn't break everything. No, so that's there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the camera's just struggling with some autofocus there maybe, but I think we're okay. Yeah, so that's my setup. Obviously, I put the keyboard tray in myself when I moved in. The desk was already built in. Put the keyboard tray in. Basically got a piece of wood from B&Q. Had a couple of slide rails off an old desk which I bolted on, well, screwed onto the ends and mounted, and so that's what that is. Need to sort out something here. We usually have a wall calendar planner for the year, which obviously 2020s went swimmingly well with not being used for like the last 6 months. Obviously got a bit of artwork here which I want to probably show off too. You've seen it before in my videos. I've got the Star Wars, got the Justice League, and I've got that painting that my friend did of Batman, which is quite cool. Obviously losing a bit of focus there, the camera. Also got a bit of artwork over here which I think you may have seen slightly. We've got Spider-Man in San Francisco, Superman, and we've got that autographed picture of Muse as well, which again a friend got me for like my 16th birthday or something like that, many moons ago. But yeah, and also sort that curtain around. But maybe that won't be in the videos once I get a little camera stand. So anyway, I feel like I've rambled on, but hopefully you've seen my setup, seen what I've done. Hopefully the video's turned out okay on the phone. And yeah, I will catch you all for the next one. Cheers.